I'm sure by now we're all familiar with the term manic pixie dream girl. It was coined by film critic Nathan Rubin in his 2007 analysis of Elizabethtown. The manic pixie dream girl, it describes female protagonists who are quirky, elusive, and unique. Their love for indie film and music, and their fairy-like ethereal appearance while still being conventionally attractive, all exist to help the male protagonist regain some zest for life. Rubin commented how she exists mainly to teach brooding, soulful young men to embrace life's infinite mysteries and adventures. Rodessa Kagura from The Phoenix comments that the manic pixie dream girl is a stock character whose sole purpose is to uplift the usually male protagonist. These stories involving the manic pixie dream girl start with the protagonist leading a mundane, ordinary existence devoid of any real meaning whatsoever. Enter the manic pixie dream girl, solely there to add spice and meaning to the protagonist's life through a whimsical adventure that thus makes up the whole story. What makes this girl different from other girls in media, however, is that the manic pixie dream girl has almost no other character development other than to lift up the protagonist. The story thus ends with the protagonist realizing that they should live a little, even starting up a relationship with said manic pixie dream girl. I'm sure you're thinking, it's not that deep. I mean, the manic pixie dream girl is a movie character, and movies are not real. And yes, while my grip on reality is feeble at times, even I can admit that movies are exaggerated purposefully to elicit a sense of escapism in the audience. And on the surface, there's nothing wrong with an out-of-touch pretty girl. However, the age-old notion applies. Life imitates art, and art imitates life. It is a circle that is both delicious and vicious. According to Laurie Penny of the New Statesman, men grow up expecting to be the heroes of their own stories, while women grow up expecting to be the side characters in someone else's. She goes on to explain that women behave in ways that they find sanctioned in stories written by men. Our pop culture and the media we consume has always shaped our identities and how we present ourselves. At the end of the day, no matter how much you argue to the contrary, we are all just a bunch of sheep. Our herd mentality and this strong desire to be liked helped us survive the caveman era, and now it's helping us with social survival. If the manic pixie dream girl is continuously pushed and shown, especially to young, influential people, as something desirable, something that will make you liked, something that can even make you romantically pursued, of course we're going to subconsciously internalize these behaviors and these traits and try to actualize them in our real lives. Especially in the age of social media, where every other person can portray this persona online for millions of people, whether it be true to themselves or not, a manic pixie dream girl could be taken up as one such persona, and it may even lead us even further astray from our authentic selves. This isn't even a problem that's emerged recently. According to Shreya Bissam, women are portrayed as manic pixie dream girls in male-centered films because, for the majority of history, women were thought to be manic pixie dream girls. Women have never been understood fully throughout history. They were seen either as nymph-like attractions in their youth or as good wives in their adulthood. Women had to learn about the world through men, and so this creates a rift where they're seen as these pretty little objects that are not really connected to the world of self-evolution and labor. In that way, women did exactly what we see the manic pixie dream girl doing still today. They propagated the success of their male counterparts without really having any of their own. The other problem with these female characters being written by men for men is that they can't really complete her identity as a human being of her own. We only see her through these fun little snippets that either appeal to the male gaze or that the male character can interact with. We seldom ever see her vulnerabilities, unless it's in a brief damsel in distress situation that the male protagonist must swoop in and save her from. Thus, we are left imagining the manic pixie dream girl as just a concept, and we are left with many questions as to who she really is. How does she relate to her family and friends? What are her own dreams and desires? Why is she the way that she is? What inspires her? Anna Owen critiques that these women's divergence from conventional femininity is marked as desirable, an opportunity to revere those who defy the norm, but only if the woman in question is still white, skinny, and conventionally attractive. As a woman of colour myself, this was really interesting because I do feel that we're barred from this identity of manic pixie dream girl or the allure that she brings with it. If you don't have two key privileges of whiteness and attractiveness, and you still exhibit the eccentricities seen in a manic pixie dream girl, you're just ugly and weird. Owen goes on to explain how this term shouldn't necessarily be abolished, but just should stop being applied to real people and real personalities, and might actually be beneficial for male directors and male writers in viewing women not as concepts, but as rounded and realistic people. So we shouldn't forgo our own eccentricities, but we also shouldn't feel compelled to sacrifice our individuality to fit a trope. If we were all eccentric in the same way, or in a way that was dictated to us, then how would we ever be expected to find our own self-identity? While there are still inaccurate representations of women as these adorably weird, pretty things, we are starting to redefine womanhood through the eyes of, would you believe it, women themselves. One way that this is happening is through more and more female directors who can draw from their own experiences and portray these multifaceted, layered, and accurate characters that other female viewers can relate to. In the age of social media, we are seeing this odd phenomena where creators can be both the star and the director of their own narratives. And yes, while we can definitely put forth the argument that social media is performative in many ways and that these online personas don't align with real people, at least female creators are able to take their image into their own hands and not be hemmed in or manipulated by male writers and directors. Even if they are whimsical online, it is a kind of eccentricity that feels more authentic than the one that we see on TV. In short, nobody is telling you to forgo your quirks and oddities. I, for one, have been a proud weird girl since I gained consciousness, and I have no intention to stop. However, you also shouldn't feel that you have to be quirky or weird or whimsical in a way that's seen as desirable or an ideal, because that would just defeat the purpose of individualism in the first place. We can turn the manic pixie dream girl into a formidable tour de force, a woman who isn't afraid of herself or how she's perceived by others, a woman who breaks glass ceilings and who laughs out loud at things she finds funny, a woman who is vivacious and intelligent. She uplifts her peers and she forms meaningful connections with people, be it romantic or platonic, where everyone involved is on the same playing field. Be manically passionate about your dreams and quick as a pixie to chase them.
I love the Smiths.
Sorry?
I said I love the Smiths.